Hey, welcome back into today's video. I've never seen liars like these. The dad-daughter dream team, Patrick and Sarah Getchell, love each other a lot too much. It's been alleged that they utilized AI toward inappropriate image-based abuse on a Power Rangers actress named Jenna Frank. The Power Rangers are involved? The father's been accused of parental grooming, conditioning his child from a young age to normalize inappropriate boundaries, emotional dependence, and disgusting acts later in life. Warning, today's video may make you lose faith in humanity. You experience some disorientation, possible nausea. Brace yourselves. This video is really in-depth. I did a lot of research. We left no stone unturned, and I'd like to say thank you, Janelle, for editing the video. Let's get a thumbs up for Janelle. Like on the video for Janelle, everybody. I appreciate you. Yes, you. Every member of the Rep Squad watching currently. Happy holidays. I hope Thanksgiving was great. We're currently almost at 350,000 subscribers, and I'd love to get as close to 400,000 as possible by the end of the year. So if you want to help me out on this goal, I'd greatly appreciate it. And back to the video. The original Dad and Daughter Dream Team TikTok had just about 60,000 followers. Said they did cool dances, challenges, and family fun. And they wanted you to follow their account for great moments and laughs, but all it ever really did was make people feel a unsettling disquietude. And this wasn't one of those situations where it looked fine on the surface and the deeper you got, it was just unsettling. No, it was disturbing and disgusting on the surface, and the deeper you got, the more you wanted to projectile vomit. I can't play the music here for copyright reasons, but I do just want to say that most of the music that they played was couples music or love songs, which is in itself just very strange. So they're just kind of like not looking like a father and daughter right now. Longingly looking at each other. Very uncomfortable to watch. In this next one, you can see her visibly leaning away from Patrick. Yeah, you can see like she's literally like he's standing straight. She's might as well be tilting like the Eiffel Tower.
Sarah, and this is my dad, Patrick.
We love to dance together.
And lip sync.
And get a little crazy sometimes.
Well, you do that normally.
You're calling me crazy?
If the shoe fits.
True. Anyway, we want to share that love with all of you.
And we're super close.
He's just kind of like this goofy nerd type dude, right? Like, with the glasses that, you know, makes him look like a fitting young man.
And we're super close too, so this is easy for us.
So, enjoy the content.
And let's all have fun together.
In this next one, we got what looks like some flirting.
Don't do that. Don't.
Squeezies.
Don't do that.
Squeeze.
Don't squeeze my neck.
Why?
Disobedient child.
It's like his demeanor, you know, when you hear people flirting. It's that awkward type of like being on a date type feeling. So he's doing this like strange touching the nose thing. So he does it to his wife. Boop. It's the boop. Boop, 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 boop. Oh my God. This says, POV, people always get opinionated about how we choose to present our content. Just a normal father upset with the internet for calling his obsession with his daughter inappropriate. You could say at her elbow. Remember this ladybug shirt.
There's really not any, like, major boundaries in our relationship. We're always hugging. Yeah. Holding hands. This is the way our family operates now.
We're gonna get more into how the family operates. These next clips are just kind of you get the uh-oh feeling. They're singing a love song right now. Can't play it, but just... He's so into it. Watch him right here. He's like, yeah. This is some kind of trend, but the song, let's see if I can play a little bit of it. Maybe that doesn't get it struck, but you can kind of see what's going on here. So, kind of a strange thing to be doing with your daughter. This is really weird. Check this out. The lyrics are, yes, a romantic song. Boom. Red long dress, to which we will be talking about that a little bit later in the video. Another couples trend here. Clearly, I can't play the music, but you can just kind of see. There he is again, staring at her elbow. More relationship songs here, as you can see. Their general just interactions are very strange.
And whatever crimes I commit against you, remember, I have diplomatic immunity in 46 countries, including Puerto Rico.
Sir, you will find that the word fear is not in my vocabulary.
Perhaps.
Her look is insane. More just couple songs, actual songs. This was the consistency of their entire content, by the way. There's one where it looks like he accidentally brushes up against her bottom, and she's like, whoa, wait, the camera's on. Bam. Oh, wait, look, Dad, the camera. Ah. Not great. Not good stuff. In this next one, I'm going to point out that he's the one that records these types of videos.
And you know who films every video? Dad. You can see his shadow. He's the one filming. And go back and watch it and look at all of the expressions and the lip biting that she's giving him to this sexy song.
One user saying here, if that's what they do live, I don't want to imagine what they do off camera. One user saying, probably snuggle up and show each other lots of affection. Important thing to remember is they do not have boundaries. In an interview that we're going to go over later in this video, he said this about the boundaries between him and his daughter.
What boundaries do you guys have in your relationship?
Now, I said before in an earlier video, probably seen it, that there should be no boundaries in a family. People took that the wrong way. I'm not saying that there's not healthy boundaries, okay? Obviously, there's certain things that...
And look at this intimate type of body language here with her hand on the shoulder, leaning in, too comfortable.
But there's really not any, like, major boundaries in our relationship because we trust each other. And we're completely comfortable with each other. She knows I would never do anything to hurt her or anything. I don't want to say sexual because that just, but anything over.
What do you mean you don't want to say not sexual? What does that even mean? And how are we defining harm here? Like, this is a very important thing to point out. I don't think a lot of people have. His idea of harm and our idea of harm is clearly different, okay? Because most of us would not act this way towards our mothers or fathers. And the further that we get in this video, you guys are going to see that his idea of harm is not the same as ours.
There's certain things like, sleeping together, stuff like that. That's a little bit too far.
It should be obvious, but it's not.
Right. That's too far. I think it's people are over it, and that's like, unfortunately, I should have, I don't know, I should have seen that and maybe tried to dial it back a little bit, but what's done is done. I can't undo it.
So he's saying that people are over-actualizing it, which insinuates that it's fine to think of it that way in the first place, just not too much, which is terrifying. Worse when we see Freudian slips like him calling himself her husband.
You know how close I am to Sarah. The only title that I can think of that even comes close to comparing to father is husband.
One user saying he definitely seems to have those two roles a bit ... confused. So as the accusations turned into a firestorm pointed directly at them, they would do weird things. How about the fact that she lied about having a fiance just to make people stop accusing her of, having a relationship with her father? One user saying Patrick admits that Sarah made up a story about a fiance to keep people off her back. So I guess that is just how this family works. They lie to keep people off their back. We see that. And here you can see in reply to somebody saying she is a hottie, thanks, my fiance thinks so too. Heart a face emoji, to which Patrick responds to this saying, not really, Sarah has already debunked this once in a live. At the same time, she was fed up with people asking if she was single, so she made up a false story about a fiance to get people off her back. Viewer responding saying, yeah, so making up false stories to keep people off your back really runs in the family, huh? There were also situations where they would walk out of the woods and her fly would be down in a video. One user saying, hey, so y'all remember the video where Sarah seemed very out of it in the woods with Patrick and he seemed off too? I believe flies were unzipped. Pay attention to the looks they give each other and how intimately close they seem.
She's very devious.
See my halo?
Yeah, okay.
And then you can obviously see the flies down here. Very strange. I also found this user comment, which doesn't surprise me if true. On his Facebook, every post is of her, nothing else. One user saying the videos on his Facebook are him running around the park talking about how no matter what you've done, God loves you. I posted one of them a few weeks back. And this is where we start to piece together his reality and see how he's framing his worldview. Also, we could see it when he starts to defend his brothers, who, by the way, are both registered offenders, okay? More about that later. But the major piece of content that set this whole controversy off and made, put a lot of eyes on it was the fact that he got his daughter a purity ring. And he got down on one knee and proposed like a husband would, given the context.
I want to give you something.
What?
I want to give you something.
Okay.
Okay? So, Sarah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What? What is this?
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
Yes. That is gorgeous.
Give me your left hand. Okay, this ring will remain on your left ring finger until the day your husband puts another ring there in its place.
Okay.
As a sign that you will remain pure.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you too.
My sweet girl.
I like it.
And keep in mind, he did say that one day the purity ring will be replaced with an actual engagement ring from her husband. And not too long after this, he does replace it with an actual engagement ring. Here she tags her alleged best friend, Jenna Frank. That's the Power Ranger. I know you have questions. We will answer them in this video. Someone already spotted Sarah's purity ring is a Walmart engagement ring. And they're right. Here is the listing actually on Walmart. And keep in mind, see this ring? See, it's got the pink and everything. This is not the same ring as this one here. People also pointing out the wife doesn't even have a ring. So that's kind of strange, that is just a little bit weird. In this clip here, I want you guys to pay attention to her facial expressions. She looks very off.
We are again, the Dream Team.
You guys can let me know in the comment section, but you can definitely see behind the eyes that there is something unsettling there. And I also noticed that her aggression is, gets pretty bad.
Star Wars is fake!
So I'm not a Jedi?
No, you're not.
They said, why are you screaming?
Because I can.
One user saying, was she homeschooled? Yeah, by Patrick and Teresa. Jesus Christ, girl never had a chance. Is Hunter actively in homeschool too? From my understanding, just Patrick was the teacher. Oh man. And I think that's important to remember. There is a mom. Her name is Teresa. Where is she at? Here they are replying to somebody saying, where is the mother?
Hello everyone. So we've been getting a lot of questions like this. Where's mom? Mom reveal. Here she is. This is my mother. Her and my dad have been married for 22 years. They are very happy. She just doesn't like appearing on camera very often.
Hi guys. Yeah, I don't like being in front of cameras, but I'm behind the camera, I'm with them all the time, I'm supporting them, and I have a part in it too. So yeah, you finally got to see me, and here I am.
So yeah, there's nothing else but dance trends and fun going on here. I promise.
How weird was that? So yeah, guys, here's my mom. Nothing at all is going on. But you guys need to see the way that they treat Teresa. It's not good.
Really?
What?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Down really far. There's Hi! I need to sit back, so I'm gonna hold this for a while. What? I need to sit back. Hey! Over here. Oh. Hi!
Sarah, you can still sit back even though it's on there.
I can't see comments, though.
Oh man, she just wants to be a part of it, man. That's so cruel. People also theorize that the mother may have some type of mental disability. In one post on Reddit, thoughts on Teresa, mentally challenged for sure, almost feel like Patrick probably took advantage of her way back when. Otherwise, seems so sweet, wants to participate in the videos, lol. Another saying, I feel like there's something wrong with him too. Another saying, she is very childlike and I can imagine she probably didn't do much of the parenting. I envision Patrick always being in charge. In a later interview that we're going to get into, it actually was answered about this situation. In reply to, I honestly think the mom may be disabled.
No, there isn't really any kind of disabilities or neurodivergent the way people would normally assume in our family. We're just very, very demonstrative, I guess the word is. And I have a lot of energy. I always have. I have that energy. I want to be excited. I've always been the positive person, and I always want to just make everybody see how passionate and how nice I am and how funny I am sometimes. So yeah, I act crazy on camera.
That's really strange to me. I've never heard that before, and I've never felt that about myself. I've never wanted to show people how nice I am or how funny I am. I feel like that's a sort of like maybe even projection. I think that it's not genuine, right? If you're like, hey, I want to show you exactly how nice I am. It's just, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think below.
Has that, because they're the same way, which is absolutely amazing, I think, because I think that everybody should have that energy and that feeling. Now, Teresa, she had a small learning disability with reading comprehension. She doesn't comprehend words that's written very well. That's it. That's it. And I guess it just kind of looks that way based on how we act.
So wait a minute, he just said, no, there is no disability, and then goes on to say there is a learning disability, and then says that they look disabled because of the way they act. That was his words. And then you have these weird situations where Sarah looks visibly angry that the father is giving the mother attention. Check this out.
I already have the best gift I could ever have sitting over there.
My sweetie.
My life started when I met her.
That's cute.
It's all cuddle bear on this one. Don't worry.
Well, okay.
Let's pick that up. I keep forgetting.
Tomorrow, maybe, right? I see now.
Traitor.
Hug.
He's sitting there, he's talking to the wife, saying that she's the best gift he's ever gotten, and then she's visibly impatient, angry, and then looks at him point blank and says, can I have a hug? One user saying, can I have a hug out of nowhere was very strange. Something that just I can't wrap my mind around is this dude is trying to give out marriage advice despite all the situations that he's in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Marriage Advice. And today we're going to be talking about how to keep the romance alive, telling your spouse that you love them, and communicating that just helps to let them know that you love them and you care about them, and that's always a good thing. Just always remember that you love each other and just really focus on being together and just showing your affection.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for today, guys. So we're going to be back again for another marriage advice video. If you have a subject you want us to cover or a question you want to ask us, please do so in the comments below, and we will get to it as quickly as we can.
My heart broke a little bit when she just squeezes him for a hug at the end, because the whole time he's talking about this marriage advice, he's not looking at her at all, not giving her, saying, oh, the best thing is to love each other. Oh, wow. Groundbreaking. One user saying he leans away from wife, but with the daughter, he has whole body towards her and leans in. There was also a comment by someone who allegedly knew the mom at one point in time. User said, did some digging, found proof. Bear with me, there's no commas or any punctuation in this, so now I have to mentally add it in. So, oh man. This was exactly what happened with Teresa. She went to work at McDonald's. I used to live with her and date her brother. She went to work. We used to take her to work and drop her off, pick her up, and all of a sudden she started talking to this new guy named Patrick. And I guess she went to school with him for a short time, but she didn't know who he was until she started McDonald's. And then she suddenly just moved out and wanted to be with him all the time. And her mother and father tried to stop it, but there's nothing we could do because she was an adult. But she is as slow as she does things as to has guidance and everything. And he took advantage of her, and he still is. I've tried to talk to her, but she just won't come to her senses that Patrick is a bad person. And everything her brother has seen, some of the videos that the Dream Team has put up there with his niece. And he's not a happy camper and everything. We've been trying our hardest to get Sarah and his brother and Teresa out of the situation. We're hoping that Patrick goes to jail or something like that, because he is this way to get Teresa back up to Vermont, where she belongs near her family. Oh my God, that was so hard to read. User continues, hopefully it's clear from the screenshots, but in a nutshell, these are some pretty damning and more than plausible, if you ask me, claims coming from someone who obviously knows Teresa personally. and in all likelihood has zero reason to lie about something like this. I have to say, it's refreshing to finally see someone with ties to the family showing concern for Teresa and Sarah and Hunter. I wonder what Patrick will have to say about this. And they actually do show evidence that connects to Teresa. I'm not going to show it because I believe that it could be like personal Facebook material. Don't want to dox. Yeah, it's definitely private accounts. I'm not showing it 100%. But this person's definitely a follower of Teresa's private account, and looks like they interact with Teresa's account. This TikToker here named Digiboo makes a really good point about the son.
That is why most people are like actually pretty shocked that he even has a son, because he has like, I think 2 posts dedicated to this child. One here where he says, "We love you," as in him and Sarah, because this is him and Sarah's Instagram account that he dedicated for both of them. Wishing him happy birthday in a story post. Happy anniversary to the wife a couple times. But the rest are all about the daughter. Seriously, like pause so you can read. More dedicated posts to the daughter. This is how he shows affection to his wife too. Anytime there's a picture of them, he hugs her the exact same way. Another one. And then there was this creepy montage of photos of Sarah and all of his like little sentiments towards her. Dinner tonight with the most beautiful daughter ever. Yes, they have these like daddy-daughter dates. He doesn't do this with his son or his wife. Daddy-daughter date night. Now this one freaked me out personally because I've been around creepy religious people that use the Bible to justify their behavior. Now what the hell? What the hell?
So that is very strange, and when you put that in context with the way that he acts towards his wife versus his daughter, it's not good. So they're dancing here. I want you to see how spaced apart they are, how they're looking at each other. You wouldn't even know that they're married really. Here again, very separated, very different types of looks. You can see it very clearly. Even when the mother comes in, there's still separation. There's still separation of energy. But then this type of behavior is obviously a change. They're close, spin out into the lingerie red dress, which connects to a very, very, very creepy, inappropriate writing that's been alleged that he did. Not good. Close, hands held, definitely different stares. You can see, look at her. What the crap? Almost wants to kiss the hand. Closeness, more animation, more energy, picking her up, just having more fun. The closeness is definitely something that stands out. Look at this. Look at the way he's touching her. What the crap? Like, check out see the hand placement of the touching? Look at that. That's intimacy. 100%. No way. It's bad. And again, the mother is filming some of these, but you can see, look at the daughter, her reaction towards the mother right here.
Episode 50 of Cooking with Dad, and Sarah said I need to do something special, so here we go. And this is the first healthy Cooking with Dad. So, I've got some red wine vinegar. I'm going to make a kind of a vinaigrette.
And even this cooking is referenced in some of the very, very inappropriate writings that we're going to get into later in the video. But there's also references towards how he doesn't really take care of his family. There's no cleaning. It's just overall poor hygiene. Another thing that was being pointed out was the overall living conditions of the family not being great. This one says, peep the bug crawling on his teeth.
I could never go as far as the literotic.
Whoa. In reference to when Sarah said she moved out, but there was speculation that she didn't, and, it turned out that she didn't. This was said, why do you have 2 toothbrushes? To which she says, I use one for my bearded dragon. When I give him a bath, I use the soft bristles toothbrush to gently rub his belly to clean it. User saying, and she leaves it directly next to her toothbrush. Another saying, oh my God, I think that reasoning is worse. In another occasion, there being 1, 2, 3 toothbrush. The mother's feet was something that was stand out in the Reddit. The general just not cleaning. You can see stuff all over the floors, the beds here, in the corners here. Dirt under the fingernails. Ooh. They're pointing out Patrick's teeth, Sarah's teeth, and the fact that they're in a small extended stay hotel with a bunch of animals. One user posted, their pets and their welfare. Hi, I'm kind of new to the snark page here. I posted a comment about Sarah wanting to work for SeaWorld despite all the controversy surrounding them and being widely known that their animals are mistreated and not properly taken care of. I'm an animal care and behavior science major, and I was curious if anyone had any insight on if the reptiles and other pets they have are doing okay, if they're well cared for. I honestly worry, and I kind of doubt they're in the best of hands, but if there is any evidence on how they're treated. I get major animal mistreatment vibes from Patrick. He gives me the vibe of someone who wouldn't think twice about shoving a dog's face in their own mess. So I just wanted to know if any other snarkers have any insight. One user saying they haven't shown their reptiles in a long time, not to be too blunt, but if Teresa's toenails are curling back up into her feet, it's safe to assume those reptiles aren't being properly cared for either. Multiple people saying that once they saw the pets, they didn't see them for long periods of time, and some they haven't seen in a long time. One user saying, thank you for posting about this. I posted about their pets a few months ago, but they haven't been talked about much. Aside from their large breed dog Jackie, they have a beardy, 2 geckos, a tarantula, and 2 snakes. Who knows if they're all still alive? When they were posting about them on their old Dream Team account, it was rare. Their enclosures were tiny and didn't look clean. The birdie's nails were so long it breaks my heart, especially knowing that they have Jackie now. Jackie's the dog. There's no way those pets are getting proper care or enclosure upgrades anytime soon. And this is a picture of the bearded dragon with very long nails. Some complaining that the bearded dragon is not in the normal weight range. This is one of the leopard geckos here, tarantula here, one of the snakes here, one of the other geckos here, one of the other snakes here. Another user saying, I truly wish somebody would notify extended stay management that they're harboring reptiles in the room. Doubt they're allowed to have them there. And that's a really good point. In these extended stay motels, you're not supposed to have a whole zoo in there, I think. And then people were real upset about Sarah saying this.
Look at you however I want to look at you. I'm free white and 21.
Apparently this was a catchphrase back in the 30s and 40s in popular culture back then, and it was meant to mean that they were somehow more free because they were white.
Do you mind if we stay here a while, or must you go home?
There are no musts in my life. I'm free white and 21.
You're lucky.
You needn't worry about me. I'm free white and 21.
People were calling them out, and so they decided to respond several times. Pay attention because they lie a lot. One user saying, addressing the accusations of them looking like a couple.
The people that seem to think that I'm in love with my daughter, you guys are stupid. Simple as that. I mean, come on. Really? And just because we don't vehemently respond to every comment that says we're a couple, I thought...
It's vehemently. It's not vehemently, it's vehemently. Vehemently.
Leaving and blocking people that said that would get the clue that we are not, and that we are completely abhorred and appalled that people would think that. But apparently we have to say it publicly. So this is me saying it publicly.
Abhorrent. Abhorrent. And I say words wrong all the time. In case you guys don't know, I have a southern accent, and so a lot of times I say words not great, you know. But I have learned some difficult words. It's really hard for the southern accent to say colloquially or colloquial. You don't believe me? If you're southern, try it. Colloquially. It's a colloquially known term, okay?
It appears like we're a couple. That's not on me. That's you guys thinking the wrong thing. And I'm sorry if we're close enough to appear to be a couple. We're not. It's never crossed any boundaries. It's never crossed any lines. We're just father-daughter. Hello.
It's the way his demeanor is. Like, number one, the fact that you have to say that's strange, you know. But it's his demeanor. It's like, look at his facial expressions.
I didn't think I needed to say that, but apparently I did. So anyway.
Hello. I don't think I needed to say that at all, but apparently I did.
Off on tangent again. This was longer than I expected. Sorry, guys, but we're going back to what we do best, and that is to be positive, loving, kind, and hey, people don't like it, they don't have to watch.
And here's her responding.
Okay, I'll admit that we may appear a little off to some people. My dad is quite the character.
My question is what do they mean by I'll admit we might seem a little off. Like, what does that mean? Like,
For sure. He loves to be quirky and have fun, and sometimes he acts like a goofball. But he has never harmed anyone. He does everything that his family wants to do with no thought for himself. He took Hunter and I to a concert he knew he would hate, and he ended up getting a headache from the loud music. But we had fun, and that's all that mattered to him. Everyone thinks they have it all figured out, but they don't even know him. They don't see the sacrifices he has made to make sure we are happy. So if you're truly concerned for my welfare and that of my mom...
My thing is like, he can be doing all these things and still be doing terrible, disgusting acts. Like, he can still be taking you guys to places and doing things for you and still be, you know, breaking the law.
Hunter, then leave my dad alone. He doesn't deserve all of the hate. I have not been groomed, neither has my mom or Hunter. We love my dad because he is the gentlest, kindest, and sweetest man, and he's a great father. There is nothing forced, coerced, or manipulated about it. I watch tons of crime dramas, so I know the signs that people look for. I also know what grooming truly is, and it's vile and completely gross. But that's not what's happening with me. I am 100% in complete awareness of my life. I have never been abused or manipulated by my dad.
If you were being manipulated, coerced, if you have been groomed, these aren't things that you would even particularly know right off the bat, especially if it's been parental grooming since birth. Like this, you wouldn't know that. And from what it looks like to me, and we're going to get into this later, you are now complicit. Even if it spawned from ABUSC and we have the explanation for the actions, you seem to be pretty complicit in a lot of these things, which that in and of itself is a testament towards the situation and terrifying.
Relationships, and nothing about the way we interact is outside the norm for a lot of families. The difference is that we choose to post on TikTok so people see us daily, and it makes people uncomfortable, and I'm sorry. But calling my dad a predator and a creep is a pretty big leap to make. Maybe we do need to dial it back a little, but understand we meant no harm.
Like, what do you mean you need to dial it back? What are you dialing back? What are actions that you're dialing back? And it goes back to when he earlier said that he may have been over-actualizing. What are you talking about? Is this Freudian slips? Is this telling on thyself? Like, what is this?
But understand we meant no harm. We truly, to this day, don't understand why people have a problem. Nothing we have ever done crosses any lines or boundaries. I truly hope that at least some of you will understand.
Nobody understood, okay? None. One user saying your relationship with your dad is not normal. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. You are trauma bonded. Your content is disturbing and highly inappropriate. These comments are not out of hate, but for concern for you. You even have panda eyes and have clearly been groomed. Kinda does look like pandas. I see it. Another saying, if you look in her eyes, you can see a reflection of her reading something, which is probably very obvious that a lot of these things are pretty scripted. It says, does she read the posts and know people are assuming? Blink twice if you need help.
So me and my family are out hiking right now, and we saw this comment and had to respond. But this is the last time I'm responding to comments like these. I post all the videos. I read every comment that you guys post. No, I don't need help. I'm perfectly fine. This is my father. We're doing dance trends and other trends on TikTok. There's absolutely nothing going on here. I don't need help. I'm fine. So just please stop commenting this stuff. I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly safe.
I see what the problem is here. I'm talking in English and you're listening in
Okay, so you want to know why I look so uncomfortable in the videos? Well, I'm about to tell you. So listen, and listen good. My father is not creepy, weird, or doing anything he's not supposed to do. He's being a father. If you don't like that, you can leave. I love him, he loves me, we're doing something we love together, so you can stop making horrible accusations that are not true in the slightest. I'm fine. I am happy. The problem is, you probably won't believe me, but I don't care. I've said it before and I will say it again. My life is my choice. I don't need to change how I live and interact with my family because a bunch of strangers on the internet think it's weird.
So I think it's time for me to take a little bit of a break. As you know, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of bull, but I think it's time that I step back a little bit. People just love coming after us. And apparently this commenter here thinks that I should
This says, I'd like to see Patrick address this by himself. It's a common tactic to force the victim to clear the perpetrator's name.
Defend myself. Don't know what I'm defending myself from because there's really nothing that's even close to wrong. But I guess, I gotta say it. But I gotta say it.
He definitely didn't have to say it, but here's more of them crashing out.
I know, you're going to complain about the length of this video, but I don't give a shit. I can talk as long as I want. It's my channel.
First of all, he isn't doing things.
It don't matter. None of it matters. Nothing you say matters. Because in the long run, you can't do about it.
It's so normal for me that I just can't see it. I must have Stockholm syndrome.
Keep going. Keep making us famous. Keep making us money. Because it doesn't matter.
And they must have been making a lot of money because look at the views. It was like 500,000, 600,000. That's a lot. They even got mom out there to defend them, and she was definitely not reading the script, I guess.
I've watched the internet attack my daughter and my husband, and it's really pissing me off, but I stay quiet. I am done staying quiet. What the hell is wrong with you people? My husband is the sweetest and kindest man. He would never hurt a fly, let alone his family. Come on, guys. If you ever met him and actually knew him, you would think so too. Now, because I choose not to be on camera, everybody thinks I'm forced not to be on camera. Nobody forces me to do anything. I don't like to be on camera a lot.
Man, she was obviously reading something. Another thing that they'll do is they'll volunteer information, which is like giving fuel to the fire, 100%. Like this one about his brothers.
Stuff that is partially true is all twisted and made to be worse than it is. For example, they brought up my brother's convictions. Yes, my brothers were convicted as offenders. That's their problem, not mine. Okay? Yes, I still talk to my brothers. They're my brothers. Hello. I mean, I don't condone their crimes, but they don't abandon them. They paid their price to society. Leave them alone.
Paid their price to society. Let's go look at what his brothers actually did. We have State of Oregon versus John Paul William Getchell. Looks like we have SA in the 2nd degree and SA in the 3rd degree, and this was in 2002.
That's their problem, not mine.
John Paul also has RAP 1st degree, 3rd degree, kidnapping 2nd degree, SA 1st degree. Possession of illegal substances, unlawful possessions, failure to report as an offender. And this handsome feller here is David J. Getchell, who on 3/15/2000 was arrested for felonious SA of a victim under 16 years old. 2020 probation violations, 2019 probation violations. 2019, possession of deadly weapon. Got some DVs and SAs in 2017. Didn't report in 2010. Violation of probation 2002 to 2000 was that one thing that wasn't good. Listen, guys, they didn't get what they deserved, not even biblically, but that's not the worst logic. This woman here's a Power Ranger, Gina Ray Frank. Check that out. She's the daughter of the late Jason David Frank, beloved worldwide as the original Green Power Ranger, Tommy Oliver. Following in her father's footsteps, Gina stars as Ashley Reed in the highly anticipated feature film Legend of the White Dragon. Well, Sarah and Patrick said that Gina was Sarah's best friend, even though they only ever interacted at meet and greets, which is her job that she gets money to do. Let's check this out. So as you can see here, they would go to these meet and greets here, where Gina would see the family, and she would interact with them, give them hugs. Best friends, I guess. And this is a post right here. You can read it. Same day, same spark, 2 years apart. Okay, that rhymed. Talking about the love that they share. I guess everyone else there also was sharing the love with Jenna. You know, the Power Ranger. Light of her world, joy in the world there. As you can see, the bestest of friends. They were just the North Star for each other. But the worst part is how this actually started with a song. It started with a song. Sarah posted an AI song and said, found this song on Spotify. I'm so obsessed.
Shadows take control and silence is all I hear. Your voice so sweet.
Well, users got curious and found out that Sarah was the only one that used this song. As can be seen here, and the artist is Ariella Brigman. Remember the Ariala name? And the song's name was You Calm the Storm, which ironically started the storm. One user saying, oh my God, the AI model account. I finally just went down the rabbit hole someone mentioned, and holy crap, it's disturbing. What the heck? The provocative AI model gamer musician profile, whoever's in charge of it, I'm suspecting Sarah, spends so much time on it. The fake account has a YouTube, an OF, a Twitter, an IG, a Spotify, etc. It's so creepy. They upload fake pics and vids of this AI girl in lingerie and write weird captions like, I like lingerie, I like to travel. It's like Sarah is living through a creepy creation. Anyone else go down the rabbit hole? Ariala.Brigman. And we already know that Patrick and Sarah stalk the Reddit page. And I think it's always a bad sign when you have these Reddit snarks and they are like glued to their own hate and they consume it daily. That's very strange. Multiple locales on the internet that I've covered, they do the same thing. I don't understand the science behind it, but the account was instantly deleted. They deleted that account so fast. My God. Well, that confirms it. This is insane. Wait, really? It's gone? Oh yeah, at least the IG and Reddit account are. They deleted the account on every single platform. How telling, laughing face emoji. That just made it 100 times more obvious. Is that what this Ariala account basically is? Just Sarah and Patrick running an OF account for an AI figure? And this is the Ariala Brigman account here, and you can see Sarah liked it. Future SeaWorld trainer. That is one of her accounts, as you can see. Here is Sarah posting from this account. Again, she liked this AI account that she tagged the song and was the only one. Apparently, Patrick also liked it. Edit. So the pages are obviously gone. My question is this. So when you Google Ariala Brigman and Sarah's videos show up, is Google saying they're linked? Also, this was funny. AI Superfans comes up as well. Another user, oh my God, that's not a coincidence, LMAO. Sarah and Patrick, you've been caught. And this was long before they admitted to the account, which they did admit to the account. One user used the Wayback Machine to get Ariala Brigman Reddit page, even though it was deleted. And what they found, here's the Ariala Brigman Reddit, okay? And you can see that it is writing things in Roblox. Roblox help. Okay, that's very strange. Why would you be commenting in a game that's mostly specifically just for children and you're on your inappropriate account? That's obviously weird. Here's one of the captions, Christmas is coming. Want to open your gift early? And here's the FanVu account here saying, come see me on FanVu, I will be waiting. And of course, since the FanVu was posted on Reddit, it was immediately deleted. Wow. This is not getting caught red-handed at all. This is the bio here. You had Monster Hunter, which is one of their favorite things. Literally the same age as Sarah. So keep in mind in current time, we know that Sarah and Patrick were behind this. We know that they wrote all these things and how they were discovered and how they admitted to this. It's a wild story on its own. We're going to get to that. But keep in mind for right now, this was them. The AI model account had a FAPHER profile. And if you don't know what that is, so apparently it's a NSFW scrolling website that the more you tap it, the more inappropriate imagery you get. I don't understand it completely. It does this thing right here, and I think you tap or something. I was just looking at the IG page. I was looking at the account came up, and the account was no longer active. Just tried your link, and it says page not available. Already deleted it? Oh my God, they must be freaking out that we found it and deleted all evidence. They must live on this Reddit thread, obviously. Obviously they do. And then they made a recap here, but it puts it in perspective. Read this. This AI account popped up a few months back before they decided to remake the joint account. On Sarah's personal account, they did a lip sync video to the song this AI bot made. She claims she stumbled across it on Spotify. We all quickly realized this was an AI bot she and Patrick made. She posted one more lip sync and then it fell off. I thought it was just another account they were making to try and get money. They have a history of 15 plus social media accounts they've tried to gain a following on previously. So I just thought it was one of those situations. Flash forward to this week, someone goes and re-looks at the account. It's posting some NSFW content here on Reddit, bikini photos on IG, and I guess apparently an OF account. Now the question is Patrick aware? Are they running it together? I assume yes, just because he's involved in everything she does, especially if this is a way for them to make money. Someone else on here says he also liked the AI IG photos, which tells me he knows about it and wants to engage with it to help get it a following. Now, just to put it in perspective, they're being accused of not great things together. Him being an absolute terrible groomer, okay? And now they're possibly working together on an NSFW AI account, but it gets worse. Since this thread has been posted, everything around the AI bot has been wiped from the internet, but people have screenshots. There is one disturbing screenshot if you scroll on this thread with every NSFW caption centered around Christmas. This is all very disturbing and not a normal hobby for a dad and a daughter to have together. And then they made a horrifying comparison between Jenna and this AI bot. Oof, wonder if it's like one of those apps where you upload several photos of someone and it generates them. Could have used both, only the eyebrows look different. You're so right. Someone needs to put Jenna Frank and Sarah in an AI generator to see what they look like together. I'm afraid it'll look like that Ariala account, essentially. And Patrick and Sarah's obsession with Jenna was extraordinarily disturbing. And Patrick was seen commenting multiple times all across her IG. You can see him saying, absolutely gorgeous girl here. Sarah saying, glad you had fun, bestie. Patrick saying, glad you had a great weekend. On a post about her dad passing away, Sarah says, sending so much love your way. We love you. Patrick saying, love you, Jay. Stay strong. Your dad is with you always. Patrick saying, awesome. So proud of you. I so wish I could be there. Legend of the White Dragon coming to theaters September 4th. Who's ready? Patrick saying, can't wait. I can understand the young daughter being like this, but the father should not be acting like this.
Are you doing anything tonight?
I'm leaving tonight, dude.
You're leaving tonight?
She was like, can I ask you a question? Are you free tomorrow? Like pointing at her. Are you free tomorrow? Are you free tomorrow? It sounded like it was aggressive.
Are you doing anything tonight?
If you need to talk to me, you can call me. I'm here for you.
You were in Dallas. We were coming to see you.
Oh, the curve, the reject, I tried to call you several times. Oh, I changed my number, you know? So Sarah posting, our birthday is tomorrow. I win life because I share my birthday with my best friend. And then Sarah got her some sort of thing that says to my best friend, little light up thing here. And this is clearly a parasocial relationship, not an actual personal relationship. And it seems like it's difficult because some people know better than to be this way, but others lack proper boundaries. And you know, it makes sense since they don't believe in boundaries in their family, right? So, and then they were blocked after someone messaged Jenna and showed her the AI comparison of her and the model. User saying, if this is just one way he's using AI, think of what else this man has concocted and tried to bring to life using AI. And think of what he's done in real life. You can't be that skeevy for that many years and not be eventually caught. Another user saying, imagine paying money for an AIOF and you're actually just inappropriately texting Patrick or Sarah or both of them. That's horrifying. So they have a habit of deactivating their accounts when they get under pressure. This was no different here. And they were on a hiatus for a little bit, but then eventually came back and addressed their absence, saying, this says they were supposed to do a live after going to Jenna's meet and greet, but people messaged Jenna about the AI model looking like her, and Jenna blocked them. We didn't hear from them for several weeks. They returned with this video.
Hi guys. So I know everybody's been wondering where we were at, and I'm sorry. We've gotten a lot of messages. People are concerned what's going on. We're fine. Unfortunately, our trolls are the worst in the world. Like, they are all over us, even in real life. Okay, we've had to deal with a lot of in real life attacks from them recently. And we're starting to wonder if it's even worth it. So I don't know when we'll be back. I don't know if we'll be back. Because honestly
there's more trolls than there are supporters, and there's just not enough supporters to drown out the meanness of the trolls.
And it's not, I mean, if it was just online, it would be one thing, but with them coming out our real life friends, not enough people to support us. And I mean, we know we have people that love us, but there's too many trolls. So
we started this account to have fun, and it's just become the laughing stock of TikTok, and we don't want that.
It's become worse than it's become not fun anymore. It's become short. And as far as the trolls go, they can keep doing whatever they're doing. It's whatever. We'll always beat them.
Keep in mind they're obsessed with their Reddit account. She tries to come out and say that somebody from Reddit made this to try to frame them. So people on Reddit are now trying to frame them. That's the narrative.
Someone from Reddit created that AI account and tried to make people believe it was us. They can't stand to be wrong, so they gotta create more drama. Here's an idea you might want to try. Mind your own business. Just want to make sure you're safe. I am safer with my family than I would be listening to any of you. Call him creepy looking all you want. Say he acts like a child. Say you don't like him. But don't come up with accusations that you can't back up with hard facts.
In response to, please, for the love of God, stop lying about the AI account. You and your dad liked her photos on Instagram. There are screenshots, not to mention the Venmo with your, and I don't know what the rest of that said.
So, y'all think we're lying. What a surprise. But since Sarah already brought it up, we literally want to support a small creator, even if it was AI. Why would we even think about connecting that account to us? By, number one, the lip sync, the likes, and number two, the interests. Like, literally. It would be too easy for our trolls to find, which they did because, you know, it was right there. And they even went so far as to send this to Sarah's best friend and say that I created it with her image. Sorry, it looks nothing like her, by the way. It worked. Sarah lost her best friend over it. You can stop trying to pin this AI account on us. Because even in the event that it were true, that we created it, you can't do anything about it. Honestly, this account has nothing to do with us. At the end of the day, it don't matter. None of it matters. Nothing you say matters. Because in the long run, you can't do shit about it. Keep making us famous. Keep making us money. Because it doesn't matter. Because you cannot do anything about it. I mean, literally. You can't. I don't lie. I don't have to lie. All I have to do is tell the truth. And honestly, you can say I'm lying all you want, but you have no proof, so it's all just a bunch of shit. And by the way, I really enjoy all these laughable content creators who post videos about how I'm completely wrong, and I'm completely inappropriate with my daughter.
What was it?
Hello, everybody. So I know we haven't been posting at all, and we are pretty much done, but I could not let today pass without paying tribute to a very special individual. Happy birthday, Hunter. Thank you all for being here. As I said, we are pretty much done. This is our last ride. We'll probably be shutting down the channel by August 15th after we receive our final paycheck.
One user posted this saying, Patrick states that they will be deleting their page on August 15th after they receive their monthly payout. I made a post on August 3rd exposing an account he failed to delete when he deleted all the other accounts. By the next morning, August 4th, the DadDaughterDreamTeam account had been deleted. The account that they found was horrifying. It was about the worst that you could think of. It was an Ariala account on a inappropriate literature site, which I don't even think I can say. I'll try, but I'm not even gonna try because these Dad-Daughter Dream Team videos seem to be easy to be suppressed. YouTube doesn't, you gotta be really careful or they'll demonetize the video and push it down and get it covered. So the purpose of this video is to spread awareness in the regular creator economy that we have here. So please interact and engage, like, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Back to the video. This is the bio of the Ariala account and it says, hello, my name is Ariala. I've been wanting to tell my story for a long time, but it isn't something I can really talk about with a lot of people, even living in Rhode Island, where incest is legal. It is still frowned upon and considered wrong. I really don't understand why. What difference does it make if family members want to be inappropriately involved? Hell, nowadays it's acceptable to engage in inappropriate activity with multiple people that you barely know, but not the people you are closest to and have a bond of trust with. I want you guys to keep in mind, Patrick and Sarah created this account, and when it was posted to the Reddit, they immediately deleted it. Sarah decides to announce on her personal TikTok that the DadDaughterDreamTeam TikTok account is no more.
Sorry to say, but the Dream Team is gone. We just couldn't post content together anymore knowing how people saw it, especially with the latest bull they're trying to spread. All the rumors are false, but there's nothing I can do. People are going to believe it, and I can't stop them, so we're done creating content together.
I think it's also important to say that they also wrote a book together, and it's also mildly inappropriate. The book was called Firebound Harmony, Princess and the Dragon Unite by Sarah Getchell and Patrick Getchell. And just so you guys understand what this consisted of, here's Sarah reading a little bit. In response to, can we get a snippet from the book so we understand what's going on?
Oh, trust me, when the bond forms, you'll know it.
The feeling was like nothing she had ever experienced in her 17 years. It was as if Aurelia was a part of her now, like she was inside her body. She could feel Aurelia's emotions. She loved her even more now. Aurelia was now a part of her. They were fully connected. There was no distinction. Aurelia was Jalen and Jalen was Aurelia. This feels amazing, she said out loud, not meaning to. I feel connected with you now on a deeper level than I have ever been connected with anyone. That is the eternal bond we now share, dear Jalen, said Aurelia, almost purring with delight because she felt it too.
So this is the book summary. It says 1,000 years ago, humans and dragons lived in harmony. Can Princess Jalen restore the bond before war tears the kingdom apart? When Jalen crosses paths with a wounded dragon named Ariella, that's strange. That name sounds vaguely familiar. Kind of sounds like Ariella Brigman. Ariella? Aurelia. Jesus Christ, that's not smart. All right, these people are telling on themselves 100%, okay? DadDaughterDreamTeam account gone, but it gets worse from there. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. You're not gonna believe it. She says that she's moving out, but that turned out to be a lie too, but let's go through the arc, okay? So at that moment in time, they were running from the internet completely, and then Sarah posted this to her personal account.
Time you see this, I will be in my new apartment. I'm just finishing up now with one last load. I'm a little nervous about my first night alone, but I'll have Jackie with me to protect me, so I'll be fine. I know you guys are anxious to see the new place, but it is a complete mess right now, so just give me a chance to tidy up and unpack. I won't be able to unpack much now until next weekend, because I have to work all week. People are also asking to see my desk at my new job. I don't really have my own desk, it's more of just like a small little cubicle with a phone and a computer. I'm also not comfortable showing my work. I know that just my desk wouldn't give anything away, but I would just rather keep my work private and away from online. Plus, workplaces have strict social media guidelines requiring employees not to post images or videos of their workplace just to protect them from getting caught up in their employees' online activities, which I completely respect and understand. So please respect my decision and please stop asking to see my desk. This is a brand new chapter in my life and I promise to share as much as I can. However, given what's happened recently, I hope you all can understand why I will be taking precautions now that I'll be alone. When we had the Dream Team account, we were way too forthcoming with our location. However, we were always together, so we were relatively safe. Dad was always on alert. Now that I will be mostly by myself, I will be way more careful. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock on Sunday and I need to get up in the morning and go to work. So I'm gonna get this last load over to my new place and get some sleep. I will try to post more this week. I hope everyone has a great week. See you soon. Bye.
So she was 100% lying. I'm telling you this now. In the future, it is confirmed, but I just want you to know she didn't move out. But here's a tour of her new place.
Said I wouldn't do a full apartment tour, but I figured I'd give you guys a little taste of what my apartment looks like. So this is my bed. As you can see, Jackie has kind of taken it over, but I set it up over here in the far corner along with my nightstand with some plants and my books. And then this is my dresser area. I have some pictures of my grandpa, our first ever copy of our book, and something playing on the TV. I can't even remember what was playing at the time I filmed this. I put some of my plants up there too. Yeah, I love it. And then this is my filming area, my basically quote-unquote living room. I've got my couch with my nice fuzzy blanket over the back of it. That is so comfortable, by the way. And my nice little backdrop that looks like a bookshelf. I like it. And then this is my table, my coffee table. Yes, that is a Christmas tree. Don't come for me. I love Christmas. And then a couple of my other plants next to it. This is, I know the tablecloth is blue, but that will be changed to pink very soon. And then this is my kitchen area. I've got my pink dinnerware set, my pink knives. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any pink dish soap, but blue works just as well. Besides that, the platinum, and I love Dawn Platinum. It's just so easy to clean. And then my closet area, I've hung up my dresses, my nice shirts. I'm gonna get some more hangers to hang up more of my clothes, and I've got my hanging storage container that I put my towels in, and that at the top is my old Girl Scout sash. And here's a little clip of Jackie enjoying her new toy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of apartment tour. Yeah, I love my new apartment. I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys love it too. See you next time. Bye.
One viewer saying, where are the rest of the family staying? Looks nice. She says, they are in an apartment in Garland still. I moved by myself. So now starts the speculation about her not really moving.
She says she is moving out on her own. So this is what she says is her coffee table. Very weird, has a blue tablecloth over it, a Christmas tree, and very, very small portions of this living room. As well as a very small section of the living room with this backdrop of these books hiding the wall. Could that be hiding the bright orange wall that is very hard to hide Maybe. Now this is what she says is her living room TV area, because you can see the blue tablecloth here. But pay very close attention to this picture frame and this flower over here on the corner, because this is her bed, and what do you see right here? That same flower and that same picture frame right here, which means she would be sleeping in her living room, but if she was living by herself, she would have a bedroom. She wouldn't have to sleep in her living room. Then you have the kitchen. This is Sarah's alleged kitchen. This is the kitchen in the dad's video of their new apartment. Flat stove, white microwave. Notice the handles right here. Same handles, flat stove, and then there is the same microwave up here. Small sink, small sink. I hope I'm wrong, but it looks scarily similar to the apartment that he is showing in this video right here. Look at the baseboards. Now, could it be an apartment in the same building? Yes. But is it more likely that she never moved out of her parents' apartment? Also, yes. Let me know what you think. Did she move out on her own, or is she still living with her parents?
We already know that she did it, but she was also asking for donations and received donations to move out. One user saying scam artist. So they're going to admit she didn't move out. People sent her gifts for her new apartment. I know we all knew, but wasn't it to prove the haters wrong? It was to get free gifts. That's foul. I feel like Patrick tries to make her act all sweet and innocent to get stuff. Just like when Sarah and her friend were going to go on a camping trip. We all know they wanted stuff for their family to go camping. I also think it's crazy anyone fell for it and actually sent them stuff. So we have here multiple alleged fundraisings to go do things that, you know, they're scammy. She decides to respond to the people speculating that she actually didn't move.
So, you all don't like that I call my room at the extended stay an apartment. Too bad. For all intents and purposes, it is an apartment. I had the bed removed so I would have more room. My bed is smaller and fits better, which gives me more room to move. Looks like the one my family used to live in. Duh. It's an extended stay. They all look pretty similar. So because it looks similar and it's an extended stay, I must be lying. What reason do I have to lie to you punk? I'll never see any of you in real life, so what does it matter? It isn't like I have to cover anything up because there's nothing to cover up. I live in an apartment at an extended stay place in the Dallas area. The only thing I lied about is my exact location. Why? Because I don't want you freaks showing up and harassing me, or worse. Not that I wouldn't enjoy the chance to smack a troll in the face or introduce them to my friend Taurus if they stepped 1 foot in my apartment or threatened my life.
I just got to point out that she is lying, but she's actually aggressively threatening violence towards people calling her out, but she actually is lying. That's pretty demented.
You see, they say I'm not intelligent, yet they're the ones commenting stupid shit and then posting about it on their little fan page for me to see. And since the comment in question was filtered, I know it had to have been written by the person posting the photo about it, since they're the only ones besides me that can see it. So I blocked them. Anyone who posts on that page is blocked the instant I find out it's them. Then what do? They create a whole new account and try the same shit again. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results? Really, it is quite hilarious to watch. And I know you're going to post about this saying I'm being defensive. Yep, I'm defending myself rather than letting you punks walk all over me. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need your safe space? Pansies. No, wait, I know. You're gonna say I'm bullying you because I called you stupid. Oh no, I'm a big bad bully because you can't handle when people actually fight back. You can dish it out, expecting me to just ignore you so you can keep doing it. But the second I snap back, it's, oh, she must be guilty. Why would she be so defensive? You are literally calling me a liar. So what, I'm supposed to just sit back and let you insult me and not defend myself?
And she was lying. She was lying. That's the thing. Oh, man. They also had these pictures here. Look at this. So this is Patrick's kitchen. Just check out the silverware here. There it is right there in her kitchen. Here's the chairs in one apartment. Same chairs in the other apartment. Apparently, these extended stays are similar in a lot of ways. Here's how far they went with this lie. One user saying, oh, I'm sure they did, to my parents brought me dinner when they dropped Jackie off. Chicken salad with watermelon. Honestly, that sounds disgusting. Oh, what is these big chunky onions? And then here's Patrick talking about how Sarah was forced out. One user saying, Sarah was forced to move out by us anonymous strangers on the internet. Sarah was pretty much forced out by the bull. She thought if she gave everyone what they wanted, maybe they would back off. But for the record, we really aren't struggling financially. People assume that we live where we live because we're comfortable, not because we have to. I'll touch on this more in a video. And this is from a later TikTok account he creates when he returns to the internet. We'll talk about that soon. So to recap, the DadDaughterDreamTeam account is gone. Sarah has her personal account, and Patrick has not returned to the internet yet. So there's a little bit of a space in between where they had an interview with somebody. I think it was one of the first earliest interviews of them trying to correct narratives, but you know, in fashion like they always do, they tell on themselves. The interview was April 21st, 2025 on the Unreligiously channel. So they put out the narrative that it was the mom's idea for the purity ring.
The purity ring TikTok. So can you guys tell me a little bit more about that and the backlash to that, and then just your thoughts on it?
Well, honestly, to be perfectly honest, that whole purity ring video started with Teresa, actually. She had the idea because she had a friend who had a purity ring, and I didn't even know they existed really until she told me about it, because Sarah had just come out of a bad situation, had a ton of boyfriends, not a ton, but you had a few boyfriends, and she's a beautiful girl. So
They all wanted me for the wrong thing.
This girl had a lot of boyfriends at the same time? That's not Christian.
she'd made that choice to wait until marriage, but she didn't feel like she could, not that she couldn't keep it, but she could, I don't know, you can explain it better.
It was like I felt like eventually that the like, I don't really know how to explain it either. It's
Like
just
the pressure might get to her.
yeah,
you
the
know?
pressure might get to me. I was just very frustrated that, you know, there was these people that didn't want me for me. They wanted me for something that I wasn't willing to give.
And honestly, she talked to me and Teresa both about it. She's always been open with us. Of course, she had a few years there where she was kind of trying to hide stuff and whatnot. But she talked to us about it, and I wanted to do something that would help her. So when Teresa told me about the purity rings, I decided, okay, well, let's get her one. Yeah. And then she made the suggestion that I do it like a proposal, you know, kind of make her feel really special. It was nothing more than that. Now, yes, I recorded it. I actually recorded the intro after the actual video because I didn't really want to post it. But Sarah, after she got her ring, said, we got to post this because we had a Christian TikTok. We figured they'd get a kick out of it. It'd be something fun. It's something unique, something cool.
All right, 100% not his fault at all. It was everybody else's fault. Okay, I get it. They go on to say that it was the purity ring hate that actually made them delete the channel.
I didn't know anybody was going to look at it and say, oh my God.
That's weird.
Yeah, so the backlash from that really kind of took me by surprise, and that's why we deleted our old channel at the time, because we were getting 600 comments a day, and it was just too much to keep up with. I'm like, wait a second, hold on. This is out of control.
There was speculation at one time that it could be possible rage bait, like they're feeding into it because it gives them clicks and views. This is how they address that.
So to go a little bit into your marketing, one criticism is that you guys have rage baited by like using certain outfits, using certain music. I know you guys have addressed this, but just to give a final address to the critics on this, what would you guys say?
I dress the way I want. I put on clothes that make me feel confident, and sometimes that is a crop top and a jean skirt. Sometimes it's pants and a t-shirt. Sometimes it's shorts and a t-shirt. Other times it's a dress. I wear what I want. I don't wear what I think people like to see me in.
Look, we're not rage baiting. Definitely not. Okay, we are this close. Period. She is completely comfortable with me. I'm completely comfortable with her. We're completely comfortable with all of our family. I posted a video, or she posted a video that she edited of us walking, and it's kind of a family montage. Now, people say that we filmed that in one day. No, that's how we are. I mean, have been that way forever. We've been through several situations, homelessness. We've been, down on our luck. We've been in situations where we had to get close as a family in order to survive.
Probably shouldn't have admitted that. didn't make things sound better. Also doesn't help the case where he's not taking care of his family very well. Doesn't sound great. And then he goes on to say something he probably shouldn't have said about how close they are and boundaries, and just listen.
I think that's kind of where we kind of started getting a lot of hate, because we started doing the hugging. One of our viral dance videos, she ran into my arms, I picked her up. And people see it as, well, you don't hold your father that way. It's your boyfriend. It's this. We don't believe that. We don't believe there's a certain way to hug somebody different from, it doesn't matter as long as you're comfortable. And if we're comfortable, why should anybody else be uncomfortable? And that's kind of the place we were coming from. We're not trying to rage bait, but at this point, I kind of felt like if when they started commenting that, if I backed off, it would look like I was pandering to the trolls and the haters, and I didn't want to show that, so we just kept going and kept ignoring it.
Yeah.
And it's not affecting us. It's like, we know who we are. We don't need anybody else to validate us.
And people are always saying that a grown woman shouldn't be hugging her father like that. I don't believe there's an age limit on love.
Definitely should not have said that. I think we can all agree age is just a number, Bob. The sentence there was not the move.
You have a different comfort level, or your father-daughter relationship might just look a little bit different. I know people are going to ask, what boundaries do you guys have in your relationship?
Now, I said before in an earlier video, probably seen it, that there should be no boundaries in a family. People took that the wrong way. I'm not saying that there's not healthy boundaries. Okay, obviously there's certain things that there's boundaries, but there's really not any major boundaries in our relationship, because we trust each other and we're completely comfortable with each other. She knows I would never do anything to hurt her, or anything, I don't want to say sexual, because but anything over the line. We don't, there's certain things like, sleeping together, stuff like that, that's a little bit too far.
It should be obvious, but it's not.
Right. That's too far. But we don't feel like hugging or touching each other, like on an arm, or she holds onto my arm all the time. It's her way of showing affection. It's not meant in any way. I think it's people are over sexualizing it. And that's unfortunately, I should have, I don't know, I should have seen that and maybe tried to dial it back a little bit, but what's done is done. I can't undo it.
So he proceeds to make himself not look good, and then they go on to talk about any type of disabilities within the family.
Okay, so I think we've kind of covered most of my questions there, and this is what you guys are totally welcome to pass on this. But people have obviously brought up that the dynamic in some of your videos could suggest disability somewhere. I know you guys have already addressed this, but do you see that is playing any kind of a role in any people's perceptions or anything like that?
It's tough because, obviously having a disability isn't bad. I've said that before in a video, very passionately, because, people were throwing it out as an insult, I felt, and it's not. No, there isn't really any kind of disabilities or neurodivergent the way people would normally assume in our family. We're just very, very demonstrative, I guess the word is. And I have a lot of energy. I always have. I have that energy. I want to be excited. I've always been the positive person. And I always want to just make everybody see how passionate and how nice I am and how funny I am sometimes. So yeah, I act crazy on camera. I do all kinds of weird stuff, and it may look like, somebody has that because they're the same way, which is absolutely amazing, I think, because I think that everybody should have that energy.
Patrick also points out in his obsession to find some type of internet fame that he paid for followers at one point.
I've been frustrated from trying to grow other YouTube channels, and I figured, I got to try this because I need something to be successful, and I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I own up to my mistakes. That was a big mistake. But I haven't made it again. So I guess that's the important part.
He goes on to talk about how he's not struggling at all financially, not even a little bit, and he mentions how much he likes Roblox and Monster Hunter.
With this, you guys feel like the channel creation has been, created to help kind of supplement some of the financial struggles?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in some ways. I mean, we're not really struggling financially.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it does help.
we're middle class,
Yeah.
maybe lower middle class, but we're definitely not poor.
No.
And I know when we started the channel, we were living in a hotel. So that's where a lot of people get that from. But no, we're actually in an apartment. It may not be an expensive apartment, but it's all we need. We don't need to have a big fancy apartment. I mean, half the time we're either at work or at the park, so we just go home to go to sleep. Maybe play some games on Roblox or Monster Hunter. But it is what it is.
Telling on themselves again. You guys remember the Ariana Brigman thing? Monster Hunter, and also writing in Roblox help. Keeping in mind at this point, they had not come forth with the information that they made the AI account at this time. They're still denying it.
That page was started with not the best intentions, but a little bit less crazy than it is now.
Yeah.
But I've always appreciated the fact that they diligently keep Hunter out of it, because that goes without saying. You cannot bring a minor into things like that, because at that point I'd probably
the cops would be involved.
I'd probably be reporting that page to Reddit for banment at that point.
Yeah. Speaking of the Reddit page, and this is something that you guys are more than welcome to pass on again, but something that gets brought up a lot is the AI account that I'm sure you guys are aware of, that people have talked about. Do you guys feel comfortable talking about that at all? I don't have specific questions, just open-ended if you guys would like to respond.
Okay, I'm gonna go over this. She went over this on her video, but I'm gonna go over this as clear as I possibly can.
Okay.
Number one, that AI account is in no way connected to us, other than the fact that, as you probably know, when you first post a video on TikTok, they at least push it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And Sarah saw that music video that the account posted, and she loved the song. So she decided to do a lip sync. And when she did, she also wanted to follow the account, follow Instagram, and find out if there's any new content posted. Yeah. Now, one of the biggest things they say that points to us is that Sarah liked one of her spicy posts. Mm-hmm. No. We both liked that post, and it was a normal Christmas post. Yeah, she might not have been wearing the most amount of clothes, but it was still 100%.
It was not inappropriate at all. It was a Christmas dress.
It was a Christmas post, and she was saying Merry Christmas, even if it wasn't a she. It could have been. I don't know who ran that account.
Yeah.
And the other thing that connects it to us is, as soon as Reddit posted about it, it got deleted fast. Well, they also posted the fact that there was a Reddit account tied to this account. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but if I was doing something like that and I saw Reddit talking about it and all that, and we don't know if Reddit messaged them or tried to harass them in any way, there could be a million reasons why it was deleted immediately after the Reddit post.
Not really. They saw it and deleted it. That's about the only thing, unless you want to toss it up to cosmic irony. I don't know what to say about this.
No, for the record, we have never in any way, shape, or form posted anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to make a consistent AI image. I had a hard enough time creating the one dragon I made for our second book cover.
Yeah.
Because I can't draw that well. So the rest of the book cover I made, but I had to get a dragon, and I had a hard enough time doing that.
In this interview, he also brags about how all the hate is making them a lot of money.
Yeah, we're making a good amount right now on the TikTok Creator Rewards Program. I mean, all these views that people are sending us is helping quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's the psychology of every locale on the internet. They're all making the money, okay? This next part I want to go over is about some other accounts that were found. Some really, really, really sketchy ones, like beyond words. They found out that nearly every one of Patrick's email accounts was signed up on a website called Literautica. I pronounced it weird on purpose to censor it from the YouTube algorithm, but here's a video of them trying all the emails, and it says every email is in use. And just so we're clear, this is a website where people go on and they write stories that are inappropriate in nature, okay? There was one account discovered called Babe for Dad where they had the profile picture, the same type of dragon that he artificially animated for the cover of their Firebound Harmony book. And guess what type of content this account was writing? Love to roleplay with voice, daddy daughter, uncle niece, hot teen. Open to other hot scenes. Mommy son. Not good at all. A comment from the author says, this story still turns me on even though I wrote it. Another user saying, this is so hot, you're a great writer. I would like to include some of your stories in a book of my stories and the best ones I find on blank. I just published my first 2 on blank. Check them out. One of the stories titled, Daddy and Mimi Go to a Hotel says, have a wondrous morning together and then welcome Mimi's best friend forever, Janie, to join them. Janie sounds awfully close to Jenna. There was also a creepy recording of a man who sounds just like Patrick.
I walk into the door of my bedroom and stop dead. I found you. I want to say something, but I'm mesmerized by the sight in front of me.
It was titled Daddy's Home. The audio was captioned inspired by a certain someone who shall remain nameless to protect her innocence. My second recording ever, unscripted, feedback welcomed, consideration for a rookie much appreciated. A lot of people were theorizing that this sounded a lot like Patrick back maybe when he had some teeth. Another account was found called Suspicious Quail. One of the characters' name was Sarah and Hunter. And just so we're clear, that's the names of his children. Tagged under, just look at your screen here. And remember, she was wearing the Ladybug shirt from earlier that I told you to pay attention to? Well, one of the followers' names is Miss Ladybug68. Yeah, this shirt here. Suspicious Quail was also linked to a YouTube channel of gameplays. And we know that Patrick is a gamer. And the voice of this channel, it did sound a little bit like Patrick. I'll let you guys decide. Keep in mind this was from 13 years ago.
Hello YouTube, this is Suspicious Quail with a run-through of Dark Souls, and I will be doing it as a dragon.
Patrick decides to return to TikTok, and this time the gloves are off. He creates a Patrick Unscripted TikTok account, and he posts one video. He says, I'm done ignoring the hate. Follow me or don't. No scripts, just raw and uncensored, which this is a telling on himself again because this implies that every other thing was a script. In his first video back, says, okay everyone, I'm back, but this time I'm not ignoring the hate, I'm confronting it. Remember, y'all asked for it. When you poke the bear enough, eventually he will snap back. Someone says, but is this really you or a fake account? To which he hearts it and says, it's really me, 100%. That much will become clear later today when I post my first actual video. Just posted this to warn everyone that I'm not back for fun and games. I don't know why, but I read that in Macho Man Randy Savage's voice. Oh yeah! In his first video back, he said that the AI accounts were made to frame him.
Doesn't surprise me that one of you created an AI account to try and frame me. Me! I have never even thought about writing a story like that. And you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's heard the rumors.
The audacity. Oh man. He goes on to say that he's just a normal dad.
I am just a normal, everyday father who cares for his children. And you guys can stop hurling wild accusations.
Then he goes off to condemn anybody who makes a living off of harming others, which this is a philosophical, how do you define harm type arc, and we'll get into it.
You are coming on here, clipping our videos, using them for your purposes, so you can make money off of us, off of making me look bad, making me look like the bad guy. You're making your money off that, and yes, I know you're making money. I know you're not just doing it for the fun of it, or to spread awareness like you claim. All your videos are over a minute long for a reason. I'm not dumb. I've been in the TikTok creator program. I know how it works. See, I can't do anything about it because fair use allows you to clip our videos and alter them. But just know, you're lower than dirt. And anybody else who makes their living off of
hurting other people, you're also lower than dirt.
I'd wager to bet that most people I cover on my channel think that I'm lower than dirt and also believe that me to be harming them. But it's a situation, it's like, how do you define harm though? Because what he thinks is harm is definitely not what I think harm is. I would bet he's one of those, if they're not harming anyone, leave them alone. Somebody's not harm is someone else's harm, and someone else's harm is somebody else's not harm. So it's almost nearly subjective, but fortunately for him, there are some objective realities here, at least in this perception. You're not supposed to write stories about inappropriate actions with family members, okay? Just not supposed to do it. I want to say it's subjective. I want everybody in the comment section right now to tell me that it's subjective, that is morally not a good thing, okay?
Some of the you come up with is like so far out there in the realm of possibilities that I don't even know where your brains are anymore. Probably non-existent.
That's a burn. Burn. Got me there. He goes on to say that he's going to be responding to comments, and I just got to say, some of the comments that were posted, you gotta see them. One viewer saying, "Confront me, daddy." In response to, "You're Riri, aren't ya?" He has to be. It reminds me of the slow people that work at McDonald's and Goodwill. He says, "Nope, I'm 100% normal." Why would you respond to these things? I do want everybody to keep in mind that he later comes out to admit that, yep, he definitely owned this account. We haven't got to that part yet.
If I were to create an AI account, especially one posting NSFW content, at that time, after we'd already deleted 2 channels because of the trolls and the people on Reddit who constantly dive deep into our lives, if I were trying to create an AI account that they didn't find, why the hell would I have Sarah do a video, knowing that they watch her account? Why the hell would we do that? That makes no logical sense. So, let's see if you can figure out the answer to that. But let's continue. Okay? You say that because Sarah was the only one that used that sound. All right, look at the history. That video for that song, it didn't really have very many views. It was a brand new account on TikTok. Now, here's the thing. I have an account on TikTok that nobody else knows about but my family, and nobody will ever find. And it's an account where I post, inspirational stuff and stuff like that without showing my face, because I don't want to tie it to me, because my reputation is so terrible here on this platform. But here's the thing. I went to Hunter's page and I liked one of his videos with that account, just because, it was one of my favorite videos from him. The next day, one of my videos, now he's never even interacted with my account, but the next day, one of my videos showed up on his For You page.
One user saying the YouTuber didn't just sound like him, but had his camera front facing for a while, and it's his actual face, ... I actually do remember seeing that, but I can't find it. It looked very similar to his face.
As I said in my original video, I will be doing my cooking videos again. I will be doing my other videos again. I just had to get some stuff off my chest first. And like I said, there's a couple questions that I want to answer, and I'm going to do that over the next couple days. And I've even been in contact with one of the creators that really put some videos out early on that were not the greatest. Well, this creator has reached out and wants to do a sit down with us, and we're thinking about it. So that might be coming up too. So stay tuned. We're gonna set the record straight here, and then whatever happens, we're not gonna look back.
Because the first interview went well, he's planning on doing another one, and we're about to get to that too. And this one is with a user named Hannah, and that's a whole arc in itself. But we have to still talk about some of these comments he was responding to. One user saying the story was true though. It was written before the AI account was made, and your email is linked to it. You have to confirm the email as well. Address that. Patrick responds, actually no, the email in question was used and then tried to use it again, and it said email already in use. By the way, you don't need to confirm the email for that to happen. It holds the account for 7 days and only drops it if the email isn't confirmed in that 7 days. They tried that with all the emails they could find from my public info. They even tried to tie Teresa's email. User says, you know an awful lot about the sign-up process. Wow, LOL. He says, well, obviously, you don't think I'm going to sit back and not look into how they were able to do that, do you? If someone tied your email address to a site like that, you would research and figure out how they did it too. I absolutely would not do what he's talking about. I don't think any of us would do that. We wouldn't go put our emails in nasty websites just to see. No. User says stories were over a year old using the name Sarah and had a lot of reference, especially about Monster Hunter. No one would plan for a year. Responding to the Venmo of Ariella Brigman, Patrick says that picture was online in our Instagram, so it could easily have been downloaded. So not evidence, but nice try. And again, here's the not good website thing tied to Ariala with the date created 12/6/2024. And the first instance we ever knew of this AI account was 12/16/2024. No one knew it existed at all, until Sarah reposted it with the song. That's, it's pretty straightforward. But then for some reason, he decides to volunteer the information that he actually had an account on this bad website years ago. If you're trying to deny any affiliation with this website at all, you don't go and say you made an account on it before in the past when people's already found your emails on there in use.
I did not create any other Literotica accounts ever. Okay, wait, I'll check that. I had one tied to an old email address back when I was 20 years old. But I wasn't reading stories like that.
Sure you wasn't, buddy. That's real low IQ response, bud. Just real low IQ. One user saying, and he just expects us to believe that wasn't him? Skull face emoji. That video literally was painful to watch. He was just doling out the weakest excuses. Dude had months to prepare this response, and this is the best he could come up with, LMFAO. Another thing that viewers pointed out in his new unscripted account was he reposted random children. So weird that this is his only repost, and it's just random kids. That brings us to October 8th, 2025, where TikTok user Hannah interviewed Patrick and Sarah. And just for context, this is when Patrick finally admits that he is behind the AI account. And just for context, before we go through this interview, I want to show you this part.
Honestly, yeah, I created the Ariel account. I made that account.
Patrick, thank you. You have been set free, man. You're set free. Doesn't that feel good? Sarah, give your father a hug. Give that man a hug.
It's extremely weird to celebrate coming clean on something like that, considering what all it says and what all it's connected with. But I need you to see that so you could see through the interview how hard he was denying it up until then. This interview was conducted by Hannah X Marie on TikTok, and I believe that she has exited the TikTok space at this point. And one of the first things they touch on in this interview is his brothers that have that terrible offender record.
I know this is a sensitive topic, so I will tread somewhat carefully in asking this. Your brothers have been brought up a lot, right? On Reddit, on TikTok, everywhere. And you had made a video at one point, kind of discussing that a little bit and, saying that they're your brothers and you love them and, you don't condone what they do, but you're kind of still going to support them. I think a lot of people have a problem with the word support on a situation like that because that kind of situation has affected so many people in this world. And so for someone like me, if I had a sibling like that, I could love them from afar, but I don't know I could publicly say that I support them. So how do you respond to that?
Okay, so understandably, I don't talk about my brothers and their crimes very often.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they made mistakes. It's theirs to deal with, not mine. When I made that video, I was kind of trying to convey something else. I don't support them at all in what they did.
Okay.
Please understand that. Both of them have been to prison. They've made mistakes. I still talk to my brothers. I still love my brothers. They're my brothers. And my kids still know their uncles, but I take certain precautions when they're around. Obviously, my kids will never be alone with them ever. Not that I'm expecting anything to happen, because again, they've gone through the programs and whatnot. And as a Christian, I have to have a certain level of forgiveness. But that doesn't mean I need to be stupid about it. Now, the reason I don't talk about it is because no matter what I say on the subject, people are going to have a problem with it. They have a certain view of sex offenders, and no matter what, I'm never going to be able to stop that. And I get that. I understand where people are coming from. But at the same time, understand that I never supported their behavior at all. I don't feel like I should disown my brothers because of mistakes they've made. Yes, they were horrible mistakes. But I can't. I was raised to, you don't abandon family. that doesn't mean I'm going to be stupid and, just support them in the way people think. But yeah, I still talk to them. My kids have met them and seen them, but again, never alone. That raises too many problems, and I'm aware of that. So I guess that's about it. That's all I can say. I mean, it's not like I support their actions at all. Never have, never will.
Interesting, he uses Christianity as a defense as to why he's still having a relationship with his brothers. And I believe there's some confusion here. So we got a couple things going on here. Number one, forgiveness does not equal no consequences, okay? Romans 13:4 says, "For it is God's servant for your good, but if you do what is evil, be afraid, for it does not carry the sword in vain, for it is God's servant, an avenger who carries out wrath on the ones who practice evil." Essentially what that means is that forgiveness is spiritual and justice is legal and societal. They are not the same thing. Deuteronomy 22:25-27 says, "A man who essays a woman is described as committing an act comparable to murder." And Ephesians 5:3 says, "Sexual immorality is not even to be named among believers," which in the original Septuagint Greek is pretty much saying that if a man does this act on a woman, that they are to be carried out by law and punished, which in the Septuagint says that their life is to be ended. The other thing he says about Christians being called to forgive is more of him just twisting words to use as a shield, because Christians are called to forgive, to prevent hatred from corrupting our hearts, not to protect abusers from consequences. Matthew 18:6, "Anyone who harms, causes to stumble or corrupts one of the little ones," talking about children, "it would be better for him to have a millstone tied to his neck and be drowned." And you know who said that? Jesus himself said that. Those are Jesus's words. So just to be clear, when he's twisting the Christian words to suit his narratives to frame up where he can still forgive his brothers and things like this, he is essentially, Exodus 27, "You shall not take the name of the Lord God in vain, for the Lord your God will not leave unpunished the one who takes his name in vain." It is biblically wrong to claim that Christianity requires you to defend or excuse someone's actions, especially when biblically, and even Jesus himself says that they should be taken care of.
Is someone setting up? I mean, it's just it's a hard one. So my question to you guys is, did you guys make it? And it's unfortunate that it got caught, but it had nothing to do with yours and Sarah's relationship. It was just something to make some money.
No, we did not create that agreement. Now, the timing of it, to me, is it's hard to figure out, because that account was created at some point in the time when I was offline or solo on whole thing. How Sarah found it, she said it stay on her For You page. I don't know. I know there's a lot of coincidences, and also it makes me wonder if it was a setup, because, I mean, the profiles were green.
I think it's important for us to keep in mind that Sarah is actively being complicit in these lies and knows all about this account and all about what's written in it, which is obviously inappropriate in nature, and again, being completely complicit throughout.
I'm being completely honest with you. I have no idea what went on with that. All I know is I would never create an account like that. Now, granted, we did like a couple of her posts, or one of her posts in particular, because it was like some Christmas thing, and Sarah saw it after she found the song and wanted to support her in like a contest or whatever.
But then he keeps on volunteering weird information, like the fact that he has an addiction to P word, an addiction to inappropriate websites, okay?
Did you just say in your recent video, though, that when you were in your 20s, you were on that little site?
I was not.
Listen, I'm not here judging you for what you do in your private time. I'm just saying you did admit to being on there.
Honestly, when I was in my 20s, like a lot of men, I had a problem. I mean, I've since been saved from that thanks to my faith in Christ. It was a thing. That was back in my 20s. It was a mistake that I made. I was young. I was stupid. I don't have any problem admitting my past mistakes. I never wrote anything. Probably because I'd be way too self-conscious to even think about trying to write something like that.
So does that mean that you must have confidence to write taboo, inappropriate father-daughter relationship stories?
Okay, so there is another page called Suspicious Quail, which comes from, we think, from a YouTube account that sounds very similar to your father. I think this was maybe 11 or 12 years ago. And I think it sounds similar, but the Suspicious Quail account on the little talked in some stories about three people. I believe it was Sarah and Hunter and their stories. And it talked about Hunter cooking with Dad and stuff. So this is where people kind of felt like there were similarities kind of linking back to you guys. I believe even in one of the names, there was like, I think it was Jeannie, something like that, which was similar to Jenna. So I think these are where people are connecting the dots with all these stories and stuff.
Well,
there's 7 billion people in the world. Do you know how many people are named Sarah and Hunter?
Yeah, but you got to realize these connections are coming in the fact that they're looking at these similarities and they're putting them all together.
Can you imagine if you're at a trial and someone says, "I didn't hurt that person. I did not take the knife and put it into their spleen. There are 7 million other people on the planet. Don't you know? Everyone has not. There's 32 billion knives that exist."
No, I'd never had a YouTube account 12 years ago. I've seen the account they're talking about. I've heard the clip. It may sound a little similar to me, but at that time, I would never have been able to actually do a YouTube video like that. I couldn't barely even talk. I would literally take videos of myself making a golf swing and post it with text. I would never even open my mouth. I was too shy back then.
He was very shy back then. Like, this version of him is very recent.
And by the way, I've never, the game that they were playing, I believe, was Dark Souls. I've never played that game in my life.
I don't even know what that is.
Knows what Monster Hunter is, doesn't know what Dark Souls is. I think Dark Souls is way more popular.
Even in my 20s, that would have been extremely disgusting to me. Whatever, I was reading those kind of stories, but not the, I don't want to say the word, but you know,
not the category that they're suggesting.
You mean the category where it's daddy-daughter? They go on to talk about the red lingerie dress, okay? The really weird situation.
So in one of the things, it does talk about a sheer red lingerie article of clothing that the father gives to the daughter. And now around that same time, there was a video that was made with the two of you where, Sarah, you're wearing a red long dress that is sheer, it has some frillies on it, and so those were some of the little pieces where people were making connections.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by that logic, you can make that connection to hundreds of people who wear red dresses.
What? Me, officer, speeding? Do you know there are millions of cars that exist? Millions of cars. Me? No.
I know, but can you...
It may look like...
No, I understand. It does look a little bit, though, like the material and stuff. It might not be, like, sold like that, but people can, you know, kind of draw that comparison to red lingerie.
A lot of things. But honestly, I didn't even give that... I didn't even... Yes, I bought that for Sarah, but I didn't even pick it out. That was somebody...
Can I just say one thing? I'm sorry. This actually has nothing to do with what we're talking about. People keep...
Patrick's never responsible for any of these things. More lying about Sarah moving.
You guys went off TikTok and then you came back being like, I have a corporate job. I have my own, you know, little studio apartment at the extended hotel. And then you came out with that video showing your apartment, which was very like zoomed in, and you wouldn't show the whole thing. And you had stated before that people kind of already know where you live. So curious as to why you just wouldn't show the whole apartment, just to kind of prove the point of like, hey guys, I really did move out. I really do have a new job. Like, I'm making, you know, moves to be independent and be on your own. So people are just curious, like, what was that concern of, you know, hiding so much if people kind of already knew where you were at? And quickly, just to add into that little tidbit was, Do you have your license? Did you get your license?
I haven't got my license yet, but I do have the course, and I am working to get my license. I'm working towards it, but working 5 days a week, it's very difficult because I have to.
Yeah.
I wake up and come home, and then I only have a few hours before I have to go to bed because I have to be up so early. So I don't have much time to do it, but I am actively working on getting my license. It's
So
a long
then
process.
people are
The whole course is like 6 hours long, so it's a long process, but I'm working to it.
So people are curious then if you got your own apartment. I think in one of your actual comments to somebody else, you had said you're about 30 minutes from your parents. So how are you getting transportation back and forth to, your job and seeing your parents every day? Are they coming to you? Are you going to them? Are you Ubering? Like kind of what does that look like?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to make this very clear. I did move out.
Just keep in mind that she is lying, okay?
I moved to the next building because it's easier that way. That way they don't have to go very far when they need to pick up Jackie because, again, I don't want to leave her alone for 10 hours per day with her anxiety issues. But it's like I take Uber back and forth to work because it's really the only logical way to get to work. Like a bus ticket is like $5. Well, actually Uber's more expensive, but I prefer Uber because I don't want to take a bus to work, so I Uber back and forth to work, and they just come pick up Jackie and take her to their apartment, and then, And the reason I don't show my whole apartment is for my own personal safety reasons, because I just don't, like, that's like my own space. I just don't want to be showing my entire personal space online.
And of course, I guess it probably would be a good idea to explain why you lied about being 30 minutes away.
It's because I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't want people to, like, come at me because I didn't move farther away. Like, I didn't want to be, bullied into, like, why didn't you move further away? Why did you only move out of the building? It's personal safety reasons. Like, I don't want to be attacked because I didn't move far enough away.
I think it's funny that they're both lying, and now they're both completely out of the frame of the video because they're probably like a little bit of shame. There's like shame in that, right? Because they're supposed to be Christians, even though they don't even know what Christianity means, it seems. Look at the space here. The space speaks volumes. Like, why would you even do this on an interview? Hannah then asks Patrick point blank, why does he always only post his daughter?
So people are just curious as to why you post a lot of like lovey-dovey stuff towards her.
Well, if we could go back in history, which unfortunately we can't because half of my social media is now private for obvious reasons, but most of that has been very recently. And
My phone's at 6%.
Oh, shoot. And there's a very big reason for that.
Wait, did he just admit that he didn't delete his dad-daughter TikTok account and that it's only privated?
You guys are also telling some truth, so that's important. So I think
people are going to believe what they want to believe, and we can't change that. So there's really no point in trying to. Like, they're going to believe what they want to believe, and no matter how much we try and change their beliefs, they're not going to change.
You could try not lying, but then that means you'd have to tell the truth, and that makes sense why you're lying. But one of the weirdest things in this interview is Sarah consoling him about his addiction to inappropriate websites. That's strange, okay? Not something, daughter,
If you want to know the honest truth, admitting that I had a addiction in my 20s is probably going to get me a lot more hate on Reddit, but I don't care.
And it was a big leap of courage for you to do that. Not many people would admit that.
People don't understand I have a past.
Everybody has a past, okay? Then she asked them both about why do you do TikToks with all the romantic and lovey music?
the other thing is, when you guys first started off with all the dancing videos and stuff, like, can you see why people were a little uncomfortable? Like, some of the song choices that you guys picked, like, can you see why, those are more for couples? Because I was thinking about this situation. I'm like, I feel like if you guys had started off maybe doing some more not so lovey-dovey type content, it might have not have led you down this road.
I'll admit here, most of that was me. Because I'm the one who wanted to start the channel in the first place, so for the first, like, month or two, I was the one picking most of the dances, and the only reason that it was those songs is because they're songs that I enjoy. So I figured if I'm dancing to a song I enjoy, I might do it better than one that I barely even know.
And especially with the lip syncs that we did. I know a lot of people had a problem with the lip syncs because they were couples songs.
But again, they're songs that we enjoy.
And that we know well.
Yeah.
And I agree we might have
Did they just admit that they both loved the songs and knew them well? My God.
I agree we might have taken it a little too far with the whole way that we acted the song with the lip syncs. But at the end of the day, honestly, we weren't trying to do any of this, like, make people upset. It's just that we didn't see a problem with it because we're so confident with each other. We're so close that it doesn't even enter into our minds, really.
Yeah, it's like when we started seeing all this stuff, we're sitting here going, how can anybody think that?
I wonder. Here she asks about the purity ring and if the wife actually has a ring, and this is an interesting response.
The second thing is, though, sometimes in the videos where Teresa tries to, like, come over and love on you and, you know, all this stuff, there does seem to be a little bit of a pushback. The body language kind of changes, but then I'm just telling you what other people notice so we can, you know, but when Sarah then, like, leans on you or rubs your shoulder or, you know, flicks your ear, the body language kind of perks back up to, like, a kind of comfortable space. So can you elaborate on that a little bit? Maybe, like, you know.
I mean, honestly, if you want me to be perfectly honest, any uncomfortableness that I have when we're on camera with Teresa, it just stems from the fact that I know how uncomfortable she is.
What? That makes no sense at all.
She's uncomfortable. She's so goofy. She's making jokes, and
that's the thing. On live, she's beautiful.
Because she's behind the camera, she's not in the video, so they, you know.
Even when she is in the video, it's more of a relaxed environment because she feels more like she's talking to people like normal. It's when she gets in front of the camera, like when we do our lip syncs. Sometimes she's a little nervous to do those, but most of the time it's just when she's talking to the camera, like when she has to say something or when she has to, you know, be in front of the camera when she's being recorded. It's kind of a different thing for her, and I don't know why. She loves it. She actually loves being seen on camera, but she just gets nervous, and I want to help her with that.
It's a nerve thing because it comes, like, I had the same problem when I was younger. Like, you feel like it has to be perfect, so you get, like, nervous if you don't, like, you get nervous, so it's like it doesn't come out the way you expect it to.
Yeah, but why does that make you uncomfortable, though, Patrick? Because if she is behind you and she's loving you and she's giggling and she makes silly little jokes, why would that make you feel uncomfortable?
It's a simple thing.
No. Here's the reason I get uncomfortable, and I'll be perfectly honest. I get uncomfortable because I'm afraid of the way people see her.
The first excuse didn't make any sense, and neither does this one. They're fumbling and showing themselves so clearly. It's like, it's a little entertaining.
So many people have come online and started this whole she's mentally delayed and all this other stuff. Completely untrue. It only comes through in the way she acts because she acts so childlike, which we all do. But, you know, this is when people...
Hold on, I think, real quick, I think, though, that also comes from sometimes how, Sarah, you act with your mother. To perfectly honest, I'm a mother. I have 4 kids, okay? So, see you, your mom, you treat her with... like you're teaching her or you're talking to her kind of like she's a little bit of a child. And I'm not meaning this out of disrespect. I promise you this is coming from a very genuine, respectful place while I'm saying this. And I'm not meaning to upset you at all. I'm just saying that's what it seems to. You seem very bright, Sarah. I've said that multiple times in my videos. I think you're very smart. You're very intelligent. And so that's just kind of what people are gathering, that you treat her a little bit more like a child, like the video when you took her shopping, kind of guiding her and stuff. And, you know, I don't think anybody has an issue with anybody who might have some challenges. Lots of people do, you know, so I don't think people are making fun of her. I think people are just like, you know, curious. Is there something going on where Sarah recognizes it? And so she kind of takes on that role a little bit to help her.
So they fumbled this pretty badly with the excuses, but then here comes the part about the ring.
To your the purity ring video came out, and what I can say too about that is, you know, religion is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. A lot of people have, you know, religious abuse and different traumas and stuff, and so you know, obviously a purity ring in some, you know, Baptist evangelical type, you know, religions is a thing. It's a very real thing. In the Mormon church, it's a thing. Usually those are a little bit more privately done. So I think when that video came out, you did that. And then, you know, it kind of trickled into people really kind of analyzing your videos. And a lot of people in here are asking about the ring and Teresa. Does Teresa have a ring?
Teresa and I have not had wedding rings for probably about 10 years now. We hit a financial snag back then, and we ended up having to pawn them. It happens to a lot of couples. And after that, we just never even thought of it. We didn't even think about it.
It's because they feel like they don't need a piece of metal around their hand to symbolize their marriage. Like, they love each other. They know they're married. They know they love each other. They don't feel like they need a piece of metal on their finger to prove that.
Now comes the moment where he finally admits that he's the one behind the account. But I want you to pay attention to something else here. Pay attention to Sarah. She's not shocked at all. Okay, highlighting complicity.
I made that account.
Patrick, thank you. You have been set free, man. You're set free. Doesn't that feel good? Sarah, give your father a hug.
I really
give that man a hug, because that is the most. I'm not a grifter.
Wait a second. Pause just a
And listen to this next part where she's kind of confirming that she was in on this.
Guilt can definitely eat you alive, that's for sure. But you let it out. So, good job. I know it's hard. You guys okay?
I'll be fine.
Yeah, we will be.
I'll just take it as it comes.
What?
I said I'm just going to take it as it comes. I'm going to move forward. And honestly, if people can't forgive me, I've got God to forgive me, and that's all that matters.
We don't need people's forgiveness. The only one that matters is God anyway, so.
Well, we just earlier talked about how God felt about these types of things and messing with children. Now, here's the thing. Listen to this next part.
Well, gotta get going, but I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, Patrick. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Being respectful for not being forceful, but persistent. And if you want me to be completely honest, I was really close to telling the truth until the literal account was found. And that scared the hell out of me.
Because he thought that people were going to think that was him, and when he told me that people had a literal account, he told me he was scared because he thought that people were going to connect that with him, and because he knows he can't write that stuff. That's what scared him, is because they thought it would be connected to him, and he knows, we all know for a fact that he could never ever write that stuff.
But then I just want you guys to know he later on did confirm that he did write that. So, okay. Another thing I want to point out in this interview is all throughout it, he's whispering things to her for her to say, and she's whispering things to him like this.
Well, I lost control.
You literally hear her say, you lost control. Like, you hear it.
Well, I lost control.
So he admitted to the Ari Hawley account with some caveat, even though the account was created before Sarah had ever made a song repost revealing its existence. And one more time, let's recap the lies.
Create an account like that. Now, granted, we did like a couple of her posts, or one of her posts in particular, because it was like some Christmas thing, and Sarah saw it after she found the song and wanted to support her in like a contest or whatever. I mean, I didn't.
Question. If you guys both liked that, I mean, wouldn't that go against like your Christian values of supporting somebody who's like that, though?
I created the Ariella account.
That kind of AI account, never.
No, I could not.
Never do that.
Even if it's AI, even if it's fake, I could never portray a woman that way. I created
Because
the Ariella account.
it feels wrong to have a woman. Like, I'm a woman. It feels wrong to have my gender. It feels wrong to have my gender portrayed in that way, because that's what so many women go through, is they feel sexualized, and that's how I would feel. I could never do that.
I created the Ariella account. I can't do it because I can't figure out how to make the face consistent. I don't know how they did it, but I created the Ariella account. It just, Sarah had seen the Instagram post because, you know, she had liked the song, so she liked the creator, and said she was in some sort of contest and asked if I'd like the post. I'm like, okay. You know?
Yeah, because I thought she was another one of those smaller artists.
That is fully diabolical. That is diabolical stuff. So obviously this was not good for them at all, and he came out with a video after the interview saying this.
Hello everybody. So, for those of you who did not see the live interview with Hannah, I finally came out and admitted to creating the Ariella AI account. Now, as far as the literary account, I did not create that. I wouldn't. I couldn't. I did create the AI account. It didn't start off as a corn account. It was just supposed to be an AI model, hopefully doing sponsorships at some point. But it got away from me, and I started doing things that I really didn't want to do on FanView. I'm not proud of it.
It's crazy to me that he's acting like the victim, like he's acting like he was forced to do this. He willingly chose to do this. These were actions that he thought about and did. Well, as much as someone like this could think.
It was a mistake. I've already asked my family's forgiveness a long time ago, and God's forgiveness, but I guess I'm asking for y'all's forgiveness. Not really for what I've done, because it wasn't completely horribly off the charts wrong, but more for lying about it and deceiving everyone for so long. I really was about to come out and admit it before we dropped.
Don't you lie to me like that.
But then when Reddit found that literary account, I got scared, because I knew if I came out and admitted to the AI account that they would then say automatically the literary account had to be mine as well, and I did not want to be associated with that account. I never made that account. I never wrote that story. I know Reddit's not going to believe me. I'm hoping some of you will be kind enough to give me the benefit of the doubt, in that maybe I lost my way and made that AI account, but I don't think I could never go as far as the literature. So anyway.
So what he's saying is that he created the Ariella account, but he didn't create the literary account that is attached to it, even though it's pretty obvious that he did. And he does admit to this later on, but read this comment. User saying, right, so if you made the song 1 month after November and had Sarah dance to it on December 16th, my correction, sorry, how did the troll know how to make the story and publish it on December 2nd? Long before anything about Ariella was shared by Sarah. He says, we don't even know if the person who made the account knew about us at all. They could have seen Ariella on Instagram and thought it was a good model to create a story around, since it was AI and all. Many people like Hiking and Monster Hunter was clearly in Ariella's profile, so it wasn't necessarily a troll. That could have been just some random person. I just know it wasn't me. Believe me or not, this is my last word on the matter. I swear, officer. Me speeding? There's millions of cars. Literally, like the next time you get pulled over, just say that. There's millions of cars the cop be like, oh, but I just pulled you over. Millions, cars. What are you talking about? Shortly before they come out and admitted to this account, this was said.
The Bible literally says to not be ashamed, so I am not going to hide my beliefs. I'm just not ashamed to let people know that I am a child of God. That's not something I'm gonna hide. What reason do I have to lie to you punk bitches? I'll never see any of you in real life, so what does it matter? I don't want you freaks showing up and harassing me, or worse. Not that I wouldn't enjoy the chance to smack a troll in the face or introduce them to my friend Taurus if they stepped 1 foot in my apartment or threatened my life. Oh.
Crazy to do that kind of threat knowing that you're lying, literally. So shortly after this interview, Hannah announced that there would be a second interview, and it must have been heavy information, which I'm pretty sure I know what it is, and I'll let you know after this.
This is going to be very heavy, very emotional. Just wanted everybody to know that things are in the works, and hopefully this will clear up a lot.
But after they postponed the interview multiple times, Patrick deactivated his Patrick Unscripted TikTok. I guess that meant the interview was off. As you can see, deactivated. And then Hannah came out and explained that the interview was off and some other things happened. She says, let me explain why. I have never encountered such a miserable and hateful group of people who think it's okay to threaten, badger, and tear someone down. The moment it came out that I'm a proud Republican and devoted Christian, all of these so-called kind people turned cruel. No offense to you Reddit users, but you never had me fooled. I know that you're all Sith level Lord evil, okay? She said, so I'm walking away proudly with my MAGA hat on and my Bible in my hand. Users speculated about her and said things such as this.
So I think they were in cahoots. I don't think there's any way on God's good green earth that they weren't chatting and planning about this, and her teasing it like that out, like, oh, it's going to be huge. It's like, well, just tell us. Or, you know, even better yet, how about you go tell the authorities?
One user saying, yeah, she was weird from the beginning. Glad we found out how vile she is. Don't let the door hit you. Another, I also genuinely believe she's related to Patrick in some way. They look alike, okay? There was also discovered that Sarah had an OF herself, which is, you know, not good at all, especially if the dad was helping with that. Definitely not good at all. One user saying, they make me feel very uncomfortable, pointing out Sarah's OF here. User says, I originally was trying to see if Patrick is on OF, so I signed up for accounts with all his emails and I found 2 already registered. Then I wrote her name after the .com and found it. She was last seen online in May. Then within an hour of my discovery, I saw her online by a green dot and the account was deactivated. What happened was Patrick got notified by all the account registration emails he received and he communicated about it with Sarah IRL, so they panic deleted. We didn't get the time to sub and see what's behind the paywall. My Lord, that is terrible. One user saying, OF does require you to verify with your ID if you post content to prevent impersonation theft. So if the screenshots are valid, then it is her. Another saying, I'm an OF creator. OF is incredibly strict about this stuff. You will never find a catfish or fake page on OF because they take that incredibly seriously. If the PFP did not match the ID of the account owner, it would quickly be removed. And then there's a more recent interview with a woman named Oliver Nicole and Hannah, in which some screenshots are revealed, and we're going to go over that because you're not going to be so surprised, but these are very important. So Patrick says to Hannah, of course it does. So yes, I wrote that story. Big thing to admit right there, buddy. That is the only story like that I have ever written. No one's ever going to believe you. It was complete fiction, and it was hard for me to even write it. I'm sure it was a struggle, buddy, okay? But I was being stupid trying to get traction for the whole AI account, and terrifying as it is, most of the top read stories on Literotica are from that category. I thought that you said you couldn't even bring yourself to read stuff like that. There, I said it. Now you know everything that we have lied about, except for one thing. Sarah never moved out completely. We got a 2-bedroom apartment at the extended stay, and the second bedroom has a second kitchen and a door. So it is kind of the same, but not really. So many people were pressuring her to move out that she just wanted to try to get a break from it all, and she didn't want to leave TikTok, so she felt it was better to just make people believe she left. That is it. That is the full truth. But in order to truly understand how I could possibly justify trying to make money off that, then my life and events leading up to it are even more important. So do with this info what you will. If you are willing to hear the rest, I will put it together in a biography of my life as, oh my God, this dude's trying to always get money. So this dude's sick, twisted, and these people are still on the internet. I don't think they've deleted accounts. These accounts are privated, okay? Let's continue. Patrick says, I will be thinking about it. I'm nervous as heck because I'm doing this to free myself, and all I can see is what people are going to think. I am starting to believe, however, that God is using you to bring this to light, and so I have to trust him above all else. Absolutely. Amen. If we work together and with his guidance, I'm sure we can find a way to close the door on this in a way that will show the truth without completely destroying me or my family. I agree with you. He goes on to say, I know you're not completely on my side, and I'm not delusional enough to believe we are friends, but I believe you have the right intentions, and ultimately something like this requires a not so neutral party, because in the long run, if I worked with someone who was already my friend, then everyone would question it even more. What? And then he goes on to say, the truth is the truth no matter what. I have never done anything to harm or groom my family. I've never even thought about it. I'm sure, man. I am just a father trying to give my family the best life I can. Did I go too far and make a horrible mistake one time? Yes, I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times this guy has said he's just made just one mistake. Like, he's got to have said this like 6 times during this video. Just one mistake he made. Just one. I own up to that, but I will not admit to things I never did or accounts I've never seen. So there it is, the truth. Hannah says, I understand that is your truth. People from the past have started to talk and are stating otherwise. I'm talking like 10 plus years ago. I'm just trying to understand why people would want to hurt you if it's not true. He says, I wish the heck I knew. I have always been nice to everyone unless you aren't nice to me. I have had friends and most people I meet like me, at least to my face. I have no idea why anyone would be telling things like that aren't true. And also, just a thought, but if all these people are from 10 plus years ago had these suspicions or concerns, why are they only coming forward now? Why only after we started getting the hate? Why wait? So they see what others are saying and now it's, oh yeah, I always thought something strange was happening or some other crap. Hannah says, they had concerns and anytime it was brought up, you got defensive and moved around. Lots of concerns. So it's looking like Hannah actually has some big information that might drop that we've yet to see. And I'm really interested to see who these people are from the past, what's being said. I'm thinking there may be some serious investigations into this. She says, you told people Hunter hit Sarah in the head, but that doesn't match up with what you said. Seems like now the story is very different from whatever the actual truth is, Patrick. He says, I never told anyone Hunter hit Sarah in the head. I swear to God, if I could find out who's actually telling these lies, I would be suing for defamation. God, this is so freaking maddening. And it's interesting because earlier in the video, I'm pretty sure we read where he actually did say this. Like it was something that he actually did say. She says, it's not a lie. You literally commented on a post. If it wasn't true, you would have never wrote on it. You're effing lying to me. I can see the post. And here's the post right here. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. Yeah, it says, all I know is Hunter threw something and hit her in the head. And here he's like, all is well. Sarah's going to be fine. Minor concussion. Hannah says, can I be honest? I feel like you wrote many more stories. And as I said many times, that's not illegal. I don't feel like someone overnight could write something like that without experience. He says, I've never written anything like that. I've written in the past some exy stuff, but never published anywhere and always deleted or for my wife. None of it was in, the daddy-daughter stuff. Though, I also have experience in creative writing. Sarah and I have wrote an entire book. True, that wasn't anything like this, but I still have a creative mind. I gave in to temptation one time with no thoughts of reality, purely fiction, to cater to a niche that I thought might subscribe to a fan view. There's really nothing more to it. Yeah, okay, man. All right. Man's guilty. I will admit to choosing that specific topic was probably the absolute stupidest decision of my life. With all the rumors about Sarah and I should never have even considered it. I literally dug my own grave and buried myself with that one stupid choice. If I had written just a normal, inappropriate story, then all of this would be a non-issue. But I had to try and boost popularity by writing something that would be read by lots of people, and top read stories on that website are from that category. So as they say, the rest is history. There was a weird CPS case as well where a Christian pastor kicked them out during the CPS case. Let's listen to this anecdote about it.
That just doesn't make sense. Apparently when he moved to Texas, he was living with a pastor and his wife, and when Sarah went to the hospital for the CPS case, I guess they kicked him out. I mean, this story goes so deep, the moving around as much as they did to escape, the CPS and everything. They were homeless. He talked about that they were homeless, that they had no food, that, he was so fixated on social media that they were living in campsites.
So again, this is anecdotal. I don't see any objective evidence of this, but I'm sure that maybe Hannah will come out with this stuff at some point. She goes on to talk about why the CPS case happened and how she called out the lie that he tried to say.
I don't believe him, and I told him that I don't believe him. Just like I told him I didn't believe about the CPS story either. I was told, because this person was around during this incident, that Teresa rushed Sarah to the emergency room. She was wearing a robe with no underwear on, and that prompted a CPS case.
Do you know about how old she was?
12, maybe?
12, wow, okay.
She was young, middle school, I believe. But the hospital that this took place at, burnt down. They ended up moving. There's a lot of chit-chat around, church, different, in their community of people. And
oh, they're going to make a Netflix about this. We have yet to scratch the surface on this story, so subscribe notifications turned on, and I'll try to keep you guys up to date. Other things are, it doesn't sound like this story's over. It doesn't sound like the TikToks are deleted. It sounds like they're just deactivated. They could come back. Patrick's probably going to need some money. But a lot of work went into this video. As far as I know, this is the most complete version of all the events that have taken place. It took so much research. So subscribe with notifications turned on if you're enjoying this content and want to see more like it, and maybe even updates on this. Also, I want to thank each and every Patreon. Really appreciate it.